Alright guys, so the next thing is to like we discussed before, to put in the labels, the map labels. So for this map we have the labels just like we had explained earlier. So it's going to be the source, pump, and the tank, right? So we're going to just assign them by clicking the letter T here. So we put source, hit enter. So you have the pump here, hit enter, and then you can have the tank here. Right, so in each case you can adjust the position by just clicking on it like this and then put it as appropriate, right? On the tank also. Sorry. Right. Okay. So that's that. The next thing is we are going to click on the next. Alright, so from map labels, the next thing is to reposition the objects. You see, the network is not actually fully like the one we have over here. So there's a way we can actually readjust and move, reposition the elements so that we can have it a bit close to what we have over here. So how to do that is just by clicking on each element and playing around, dragging it around and moving it. So for example, we can click on the source here just to have a bit of an adjustment until it is a bit straight. You can have it fully straight. Then we can play with the other one, like no 3 is not straight, we can straighten it. 7, you can play around like that. So we can have it a bit straight. So you can bring down node 8. Sorry, right. So just adjust it until it is straight. Alright, so we can play around with the other nodes as well to at least strengthen it, make it straight. Same thing here, it's a bit straight. Alright, so you can play like that accordingly, so it's a bit straight. So the one that's a bit tricky is node 8. So for you to strengthen node 8, you can just click on it and then you click this button so you can see the clicking points. So you can try to drag and move around with these points to ensure that you have it a bit straight, right? So you can move, and if you need more, you can always move. So let's see, at least it's a bit straight, right? Okay, so the next thing, if you require more vertices, can be added or deleted from the pipe by right clicking on the mouse and then selecting the appropriate option from. So you can add vertex from here, or you can delete existing one depending on what you want to. So I think for now this is a bit similar to what we have, so we'll go with this. And the next thing is we're finished, so we can move to the next, which is setting up the object properties. So setting up the object properties, on each property, on each object, you can just double click on it and then you can see the property dialog coming up like this. So either double click or right click and then choosing the property, or you can use this data browser here to navigate from one element to another. So for example, in this case, we are setting the node properties. So node properties, we have nodes 1, 2, 3 to 8. So we can have node 1. So in this case, we are advised to start from junction 2 or node 2 with the property. So at junction 2, what do we have? 700, 0. So we just come to 2 and okay, we select this, then we come to 2 700 elevation 700, and then the base demand 0. All right, so the next we can how to navigate node 3. We just click node 3, and then we have node 3. What is the elevation? Elevation is 710 and then 150. All right, so we can just put 710 and then 150. All right, next is 4. You can keep navigating. So in elevation 700 150. Right, 700 and then 150. So you can do the same for the other links. So I will just add up. So we have added the other ones from 5 6 7. So what is the description says? So we go back from reservoir node 1. We have to enter the properties for the node 1. So we enter elevation 700 at the total head field. So enter node 1, which is the source, elevations at the total head. So we'll put 700 over here, and that will be it. So next for the view side, so for the tank, which is at node 8, we enter 830 for its elevation, and 4 for its initial water level, and 20 for the maximum water level. Okay, and then the diameter should be 60. Alright, so we just double click on it. So we have 830, I think 830. Then this is 4 for the initial water level, then the maximum water level is 20, and the diameter is 60. Right, so this is also okay. So next, we've already finished the node property, so we'll go to link property. So we're going to just do that just like we did. Links are pipes, for example. So we have pipe 1 to 8, so we're going to do the same. So we click on pipe 1 and enter the property. For example, in this case, we have 3000 and 14 diameter, length 3000 and 14 diameter. So we'll just length 3000 and 14 diameter. Right, so the same thing, we can move to pipe 2 and just input as appropriate. 5012. Right, 5012. Right, so we'll do the same for the other. Alright, so this is it for pipe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, according to what we have here. So we can move to the next, which is adding a pump curve. So here we just need to pay attention. For pump curve, we need to assign it a pump curve head versus flow relationship. So depending on what design you have to have a pump curve that according to the specification you have, then you can input it in the design software. It will handle the other properties and the aligning with the system automatically. So to add a pump curve, select link 9, which is the pump, into the property dialog, or just double click on it and then enter the ID level 1 in the pump curve field. So create a pump curve 1 from the data page of the browser window here. Select curves from the drop down list and then click on add, the add button here, this one. So but for now we have to click the pump button, okay, and make sure the pump curve, put it here 1, enter, and then we can come up here and what's the next instruction? Alright, so create a pump curve 1 from the data page of the browser window. Select curves from the drop down, okay, data page, here we are data, so we select curves. Right, so we select add, and then we enter the flow and head. Okay, in this case, what is our flow? Enter the pump's design flow 608 and the head 150, and the EPANET will automatically create a complete head pump for you. Okay, so this is this is 150, 600, 150, 600, and then this is 150, and then we'll accept this. All right, so the next is saving and operating and opening the project. So you can always save the project, save, and then we can call it tutorial 203 or anything. To say whether you added .NET or not, the system will automatically add it for you. And then we have the next thing. Now we know how to save. The next is to run a single period simulation. So now we have enough data to kind of run the simulation analysis. So how do we do that? We just click on project, run analysis, or we click this button here. So we just click on the button and then we have it successful, which is good. And if it's not successful, if the run was unsuccessful, then a status report window will appear indicating what the problem was. If it ran successfully, you can view the computed results in a variety of ways. Try some of these. These are some suggestions. So this is successful for our own case. If you do everything right, of course you should get it successful. So how do we visualize some of the results? For example, the first one, we can create select node pressure, all right, from the browser's map, and observe how the pressure varies. So okay, to view the legends, we can also edit the legends and color code the whole thing as appropriate. So for this case, okay, let's select the map and then we view the pressure variation. You can see it on all. We can go back and select the view option to include notation and display node values so that you can easily see it, and display link values as well, so you can see the values. You can see them displayed at the various links and the nodes. Okay, so this is just for visualization. You can visualize as well many of the parameters, head variation, initial elevations and the likes, elevations of cities. Yeah, this is what we have. Okay, so next we have visualized this. So you can create a tabular listing of the results by selecting the report and table. So anyone you want, so you can just click report and then table here. So you can have network nodes. This is for all the nodes. You can see the table, tabulated results, and then you can have for the links as well. You can have for links, you can tabulate for the links, links. Okay, this is the result, for example, depending on what you want. So that's about that. Then the next thing we do is to add a time pattern. So to add a time pattern, this is just for us to be able to understand how the extended simulation works. You know, we're trying to, so to make our network more realistic for an extended period of operation, we'll create a time pattern that makes demands at the nodes vary in a periodic way over the course of a day. So in one day we can have various demands at the different nodes depending on the various demands in that application. So for this case we want to have 6 time steps, which is 4 demand variations within 24 hours. So the time step is 6 hours, and this will cause the demands to change 4 different times in one day. Usually they use 1 hour, but it's quite much. For this we just want to take 6 hours interval. And so to set the pattern, we can select the options time, and then we can click the edit browser, and then we can enter the parameters as appropriate. Okay, so let's try to do that. From the data, so we select options. All right, so we can see times, and then we can enter 6 hours for the pattern time step. okay, 6 hours, and the total time is 72 hours. 72 hours